A veteran who lives in Denver watched Russia invade Ukraine, and he says within days he had made his decision. He was going. He just got back from 6 months in the war zone, teaching survival and medical skills to Ukrainians. He tells our Noel Brennan he plans to go back.
Came home and the vehicle definitely needed some work.
Loose ends need to be tied or tightened. But Dan Taylor's attention is focused far away from a Denver tire shop.
I've been in Ukraine for the last 6 months.
Dan left for Ukraine on April 15th.
We were training and it's raining outside, so we were like, we'll train inside today.
The professional security guard spent 6 years in the Navy and figured he could share skills to help Ukrainians.
So here are a few of the Ukrainians we were training. So I connected with Dark Horse Allies, which is an NGO that we have been training a lot of people in Ukraine through. A lot of stuff that we focus on is medical related. What your individual first aid kit should look like, how to use it in a quick manner, basic defensive tactics, familiarization with being on a battlefield.
Dan says he and fellow military vets turned volunteers worked all over Ukraine and close to the front lines.
Anytime there's a lull in conversation, you hear artillery just roaring on in the background.
Dan says he funded his own stay and offered training for free.
We're taking the knowledge that we have from our group and from people that have taught us and passing that on to these guys to give them a fighting chance.
He's already planning his trip back.
I'm going to keep going back as long as we need to be there.
Home for now, but his focus hasn't shifted from Ukraine.
Nobody wants to take care of small, menial tasks when there are such big things to be worried about.
For Next, I'm Noel Brennan.
Dan says his work in Ukraine has really become the focus of his life. He'd been saving up for a motorcycle before the war started. He says he spent that money to fund his travel. And he tells us he plans to go back to Ukraine as soon as possible.